Welcome to another episode of the Weekly Wrap with Vachon and Rapp, and I'm Frank Rapp.
And I'm Matt Vachon.
And we are here this morning to talk the week that was wrestling, sports, life, and everything else in between. I guess first we'll start with late Wednesday night. Beautiful Bobby Eaton passed away. He was near and dear to my heart, as well as yours, as well as our buddy John's. As the Midnight Express was our favorite tag team as kids and as adults. They were tremendous. I just said this before we recorded. Bobby Eaton was too nice to be in the wrestling business, as everybody says. He was very underrated as a worker and sometimes underappreciated.
Yeah, and it was one of those like that was it was just such a gut punch, because same thing, he just seemed like such a good guy, and I was thinking about probably I don't know if this was like Thursday or Friday, but I was just was in my mail truck just thinking and reflecting and stuff, and I was like, man, it's like for the most part, a lot of athletes have died, whether it, baseball, football, basketball, there's always like an athlete we admired that died, but it's like, it's rarely like, it just feels different when it's a wrestler. And I was like, I wonder why it like hits harder whenever it's like a wrestler. But then I was like, you know what, when we're kids, we get so emotionally invested in like the storylines and everything else that you get like, so like attached to characters and everything. And so I was like, well, that's, and that's, like why the Bobby Eaton one was like such a gut punch, because it was like you just, you grow up with those characters, and and before anybody, before as kids, you knew what kayfabe was and all that stuff, but you get so emotionally invested in these guys, and so it just hurts. It just feels different, and that was. It was a pretty big bummer to to see that wake up to that news. So
I just my biggest regret is I never saw them live.
Yeah,
I mean, the NWA never came to Maine. Like, let's be real. And at that time, I was living in New Jersey, so it was you didn't really hear about NWA stuff around. That's just one of my regrets. I didn't get to see them live as a kid.
No.
But if you think about it too, Bobby never went to WWF either.
Yeah. Right. That's true.
Yeah, he never went.
Which would have been our best opportunity to see him, and so.
Yeah, I wish we would have seen him, but I think the travel schedule would have been terrible for him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
And he would have been away from his kids and his wife too long. I don't think he would have liked it.
Yeah.
Like a funny story. Like I remember Cornette was talking a while ago. A funny story about the Midnight Express. So they're wrestling the Dynamic Dudes in Philly, right? At the Civic Center in like 80, 89-ish, 88 maybe 89. And someone had a sign up in the stands that said Shane sucks Johnny's dick. And they literally looked up and started laughing right in the middle of the match. Like that's how hated the Dudes were and how over Midnight was, because they just looked up and just started fucking laughing like, oh my god. Yeah. And it was on a big sheet too. It wasn't like on a little sign. It was on this fucking big like sheet that they brought, and they fucking hung it up.
Yeah.
It's just sad. Cornette said he died Wednesday night, and he's not even really sure why. Something happened and he died. He was only 62. He was with his physical therapist Wednesday afternoon doing stuff because he fell at home like 10 or 11 days before and was in the hospital for a while. And he was developing a little bit of dementia. And he had a couple heart attacks, and he had a congestive heart failure, and
Yeah.
his daughter just moved in with him to monitor him because he just lost his wife the month before, who was Bill Dundee's daughter, who once he found out she was dating a wrestler, he was going to kill the wrestler. Then he figured out it was Bob Eaton and went, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
Yeah, you picked the right one.
You picked the right one. So something happened Wednesday night and he died, and it just, it sucks. They had a GoFundMe page started. Chris Jericho gave $3,000.
Yeah.
They only needed 10. They got it up to 20, and then they shut it down because the kids didn't want to be like, yeah, we're like they were asking for money. They weren't like they just shut it down because they're like, okay, we don't need it, like, thank you, but that's way more than we ever could even imagine.
Yeah, right.
I just bought his t-shirt that they released last night. I bought that last night.
Not nice.
Because I wanted it, and I said,
Yeah.
fuck it. So I have there was only the WWE only released one figure of the Midnights, and I have it, and I'm never gonna get rid of it. So
yeah, right. Yeah, it's such a cool set anyway. So,
and I saw it on. Someone had the whole set of those. That there was 3 2-packs that were released with them. It was like it's Austin and Pillman, and then Strike Force, and then the Midnights, and someone had it on eBay for like $1,000 for all 3.
Yeah.
That figure I sent you and John, that Sir, that that one, and Regal, that was $100, and that figure is trash. So,
yeah, right.
that figure sucked.
Yeah.
So, like you said, again, no, we didn't know this. We didn't know him, but like, it just sucks because it's another one of our heroes that are gone.
Yeah.
It's just sad. He was just so good, and yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it just sucks too. Like, it seems like every year it's like we lose like at least like 2 wrestlers that we were like, like that one sucks. Like that one really hurts,
Well, yeah, like we just lost Orndorff.
Yeah.
And Jody Hamilton died too this week.
Yeah.
He was 82. He was one of the assassins. Then Bobby Eaton. Just, it's just every year we deal with this. Like you said, there's like 1 or 2 that we're like, oh God.
Yeah. It's like we lose way more than that, but there's always like, there's like 2 every year that like hurt.
Yeah. So. Like in 15 when we lost when Piper died, then Dusty died. It was like, holy fuck. And then Flair went in the hospital. Everyone thought he was gonna die. Like
I know. Well, even like this year, so it was like Orndorff, I can't remember which news came out first. But it was like, Terry Funk's in an assisted living facility with dementia, and then Orndorff passes away, and then and then Bobby Eaton, and so now it's just like, Jesus Christ, like, so unfortunately, it's still only August. We still got 4 more months where, over 4 months, so we're probably gonna lose somebody else here. Like, it's just sad. It just sucks. But
maybe Vince will get hit by a bus.
Huh?
Maybe Vince will get hit by a bus.
Hit by a flaming limo.
A flaming limo. All right. So they released Ric Flair Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a tidbit about Ric Flair's contract. Okay. You might shit your pants. Okay. As we've previously reported, this is from 411 Media, which is where I get all my wrestling stuff mostly.
Yeah.
Ric Flair was released from the WWE this week after it was reported that he asked for it and it was granted. At this time, it was said that it was over creative issues, but Flair himself said it was a disagreement over business opportunities, which he announced like a tour, a book signing tour, like right after he got released.
Yeah.
Either way, it seems he's leaving a lot behind, money-wise. According to the Wrestling Observer, Ric Flair had a tremendous ambassador contract with the company prior to his exit, and it was earning more money than he made as WCW World Champion. He made more money as an ambassador than he did as the champion.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Well, that's why it's like I wonder like what's going on. You know, it's like why did he ask for his like I get it, but you're making that much money as basically an ambassador. You know, like I mean, you're not doing in-ring stuff or it's at his age, so it's I don't know. I just always assume that would be like a lifetime contract type thing, but so I don't know what's going on, why he wanted out.
Because he's going to AEW with his kid.
Yeah.
Because the rumors are running rampant that some top female wrestlers leaving.
Yeah.
And I think it's Charlotte.
Yeah. Well, her boyfriend's already there.
Yeah, her boyfriend who can't speak any English is there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're gonna have dad, daughter, and son-in-law. Maybe it'll be the new Four Horsemen.
Well, that's what somebody brought up. I can't remember if it was on Busted Open or whatever, but it's like Arn, Flair, and Tully. Already, it's like
yeah.
It's like the shit sells itself.
So. John said that too. Friday when I saw him, he said the same thing.
Yeah.
Bring in Barry Windham or bring in Lex Luger in a wheelchair. And there you go. You got your Four Horsemen.
The Lex Express.
The Lex Express. Like for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I guess they'd be AEW bound. I don't see Flair going back to TNA.
No, I would hope not.
So, and he's best friends with Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Like, I guess who isn't friends with Tony Khan, right?
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
I mean, you and I are not. I wish we were, but
yeah, I wish, yeah.
I mean, give me a $250,000 deal. I'll be happy to be friends with you. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I can go on Dynamite and be a horrible announcer too. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Friday night, late Friday night, a bunch of people got released again.
Yeah. Yeah, another big, NXT purge.
And I don't get it.
No.
Bronson Reed.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Like that guy's money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like legit money. Like
yeah. Like they were just pushing him like big time and then they released.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Nobody can figure it out.
No, apparently they're going to rebrand NXT, change the logo, and make it younger.
Huh.
And that's all from Vince.
Yeah.
So that basically says to Triple H, fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm in charge. Kiss my ass.
Yeah. Well, and Adam Cole, his contract just about up.
Wow. He met with Vince Friday night at SmackDown.
Yeah.
And they had a very good meeting according to what I read.
Yeah.
And they want Cole on the main roster, but we'll see if he resigns. Because Cole's older.
Yeah, right.
So and Pete Dunne, his contract's up.
Yeah.
In September 1st. So what are you gonna,
Yeah. But if NXT is rebranding and going younger, like what does that also mean for like Ciampa and Gargano and those? It's like I don't know. Yeah, I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall for the Cole
Vince meeting.
Meeting.
Me too.
Just to be like, okay. If I stay and I go up to the main roster, are you just gonna fucking squash me?
Right.
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 Or what's the storyline?
Right. What are you gonna do with me?
Yeah.
Because that would be my first thing. Okay, I'm 6 foot,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I'm not very big, but I'm the best worker you got because you're wasting AJ Styles with a fucking tag team.
Yeah.
I'm the best worker you have on all 3 shows right now.
Yeah.
And Roman Reigns is probably right up there too, along with Rollins. But I'm going to put Cole as 1 in my book.
Yeah.
Because I think Cole's the best worker they have. I'm the best worker you have. So what are you going to do with me? Because you're not going to have me beat Roman.
Yeah.
You're not going to have me beat Lashley. So what the fuck am I going to do on your program?
Yeah.
Because they're not going to
you and Goldberg. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
if I was Cole, and I would be like, see ya.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go make.
I've been here a while.
Yeah, I've been here a while. I'm gonna go hang out with my girlfriend, and I'm gonna go make $2 million.
Yeah.
Or maybe $1.5 million. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what he would ask for.
No.
But even then, we've said this for months on this show, and I've said it for months with everybody else. Even if he goes to AEW, he's not an executive vice president, so they're not gonna do anything with him.
Yeah.
Even though he's friends with them, he's not gonna do anything with them.
Right.
So I don't know, Adam Cole. Do you stay? Do you get buried in the mid card if you go to the roster, or do you leave and go get buried in the mid card in AEW?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it depends on what's important to these guys. It's like they're going to get paid either way, with WWE or AEW. Do you want creative control over your character? I think that's what it boils down to. A lot of these guys is they want to be able to write their own promos and do all that stuff, but because they're going to get paid either way. So
I think it'll make more in AEW though.
Yeah, and less travel.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about less travel in a little while. There's some things that are happening that could put travel on a kibosh here that I've read, but we'll see. I don't know. Like, what do you do? Do you go hang out with your girlfriend, or do you go stay where you are?
Yeah.
Because if NXT is going to be younger, you don't fall in that category.
Right. And if I'm staying, it's like I need like a guarantee from Vince that I'm getting pushed and I'm not getting called up to get fucking killed by some old fucking dickhead that's been there for too long.
Oh, like Goldberg?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's a budget cut, but bring back Goldberg for fucking millions of dollars for 20 minutes of matches a year.
Or Cena?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do, because you have Samoa Joe in NXT, and he's old as fuck.
Yeah.
And what do you do with him? And Karrion Kross is older.
Yep.
So, like, if you're seriously going to rebrand that product to just developmental people and they're in their 20s, then fucking half that roster's gone.
Yeah, right.
And supposedly there's going to be more releases coming, too, down in NXT.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So, apparently, Cole had a high-level meeting with Vince on Friday night, and according to the report, Cole was taken to McMahon's on-site office about 2 hours before SmackDown started. The meeting was said to have been a high priority for McMahon. A high-level source within the WWE is reported to have said the meeting between the two went well, and McMahon is rumored to have taken a personal liking to Adam Cole, which in reality doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, right.
Many people who were backstage at SmackDown reportedly said Cole was not around while the show was on the air. The original plan was to have Cole come in for the previous week's edition of SmackDown in Minneapolis, Minnesota on July 30th. However, the meeting was then later switched to this week in Tampa for logistical purposes. Okay.
Yeah.
Additionally, creative pitches have reportedly been made for Raw and SmackDown for Cole over the course of the last week if he does re-up with the WWE. WWE sources tell Fightful that it has been told that to Cole that he is desired to be a part of the main roster.
Yeah.
So, which tells me, which I will say here, he will get buried on the main roster.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's interesting that that's what they want to do is rebrand and go younger. So it's going to, like all those guys that have been in NXT for, like 5 years now, it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah.
With that.
So,
do they cut them or do they bring them up? Like what, I don't know.
And as for the reasoning behind all these releases on Friday night, it is said as a part of major changes for NXT, including a new logo, lighting, and younger talent focus, and a new format to the show.
Yeah.
So
new lighting.
New lighting. So what? So we're gonna have those fucking stupid things back in the day where they did all those skits around the ring and they did the fucking barrel rolls and they carry the fucking wrestler. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're gonna make it a fucking comedy act now when it's the best wrestling show on TV and AEW second, and SmackDown's third, and Raw's a distant fourth because Raw's fucking ungodly, unwatchable these days.
Yeah.
And all the people that got released reportedly have a 30-day non-complete clause.
Yeah.
Which is standard for the NXT people.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this list, okay? And Bronson Reed sticks out to me.
Yeah.
But so does Bobby Fish.
Bobby Fish, yeah. Yeah, those are the two to me that I was like, well, that's weird. But
and Jake Atlas is pretty good, but he's little.
Yeah.
And the Tyler Russ guy that they got released, he was a part of that Diamond Mine group with Roderick Strong. Now he's just gone.
Yeah.
Mercedes Martinez, she's older, so I get that, but still, she was a good hand, even though she got knocked the fuck out a couple weeks ago with a kick from X Lee or whatever the fuck her name is on there, who's fucking useless. My bad. Sorry, my bad. Sorry. All good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever. It's again, it's not my company. I just bitch about it on our show, and I bitch about it to you guys. Bronson Reed is the biggest question mark, and Bobby Fish is I love Bobby Fish, and I love Bobby Fish. I know Bobby Fish is older, but Bobby Fish is a fucking worker, man. Like, and that can work.
Right.
He doesn't have to talk a lot because that's just what it. But he's a worker, and it's just like what.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. Me neither.
I don't get it. So Goldberg and Lashley is official for SummerSlam. How excited are you?
On a scale from 1 to 10,
yes,
probably a -3. So,
right,
yeah,
right. Did you see Sasha Banks is back?
I did. Yeah,
that's exciting. That'll be the match of the weekend.
Yeah,
that'll be the best match on SummerSlam.
Yeah, probably.
Unless Edge and Seth Rollins get some time.
Yeah.
Because that could be a banger of a match.
Yeah.
And Cena, and I said this the other night. Can Cena and Reigns go 30 minutes, you think, to close the show?
I mean, they can, yeah, but
Reigns can, but can Cena go 30 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, but he can do like enough bullshit and everything else to drag it out that long. So
yeah, I'm not looking forward to SummerSlam, honestly.
No,
I'm looking forward to the night before SummerSlam when AEW is in Chicago and CM Punk debuts, and they steal the headlines away from the WWE because no one's going to talk about SummerSlam on Saturday. It's all going to be about Punk the night before. And if Punk doesn't show up, that building is going to get burnt down. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, right.
Like, you sold 17,000 tickets, and the guy that everyone wants isn't there. Like, they're going to burn the place down. It's going to be glorious TV.
Yeah.
you thought the death match was great when he sliced Jericho's head with the pizza cutter and the Domino's ad came up. That, we all thought that was funny, but they're going to burn that building down if Punk isn't there.
Yeah.
And if he hasn't signed, then it's the biggest swerve in wrestling in the last probably 15 years.
Yeah. Because everyone's in on it. Like, he's posting shit, AEW guys are saying stuff and, hinting at so it's like, yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about wrestling as compared to like, football or basketball or whatever. It's like, if there's all these rumors that somebody's going to sign there, they're probably going to sign there, with wrestling. It's like, you don't know if it's how much of it's swerve, how much, so it's wait and see, hope for the best. But we'll see what happens.
Well, they made Christian the number one contender, supposedly. Right?
Yeah.
All right. No disrespect to Christian, but fuck off.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to see you fight Kenny Omega at All Out. It needs to be Punk, and they need to set it up on the 20th.
Yeah.
Punk needs to come in, shoot his mouth off, give him a live microphone, and let him talk. Let him run down the entire fucking AEW roster. Now he's coming back to save this place because this place needs to be saved.
Yeah.
Because the booker's a fucking doofus and his EVPs are fucking morons. Because if he did that, hook, line, and sinker, man.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
And then he shits on Cabana.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, hi, Colt Cabana, he goes, fuck you, Colt Cabana. I'm here.
Yeah.
Are you going to sue me now, bitch? Like, or something along those lines?
Yeah. That's if he does come in, I'm interested to see how that plays out. I mean, they're not on the same level, obviously, but
no.
I just want to see, I'd love to see just something said or go down between them. So
I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's a tricky one because that's
like real like legal shit.
That's some real life shit that I don't know if they want to touch.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It'd be like them bringing in Jim Cornette and everyone having a fucking meltdown because I think that would be great.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, it'd be so funny. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens in 2 weeks.
Yep.
AEW Rampage debuts Friday night at 10 on TNT. The Doctor, Britt Baker's in action against Red Velvet, I think.
Yeah, Red Velvet.
And it's in Pittsburgh in our hometown, so that'll be fun. I thought Dynamite sucked this week.
I thought there was some, the highlight for me was the Malachi Black Cody match.
Oh, yeah.
But we talked about this before it even happened, but the letdown match of Jericho and Juventud, which that match was everything we thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, it was fucking garbage.
So, and then, I had a good time, after when MJF came out and said, he's like, well, next week you're going to be, wrestling Wardlow and I'm going to be the guest referee. And I was on Twitter reading, just kind of like people posting stuff, like live or whatever. And my favorite part was like, some guy got on there, was like, Tony Khan, you gotta step in. He's like, you can't let MJF be the referee. There's no way he's gonna be fast. And everyone was like, it's not real, you fucking idiot. Yeah,
I have no words on that whatsoever.
Yeah, well, it's just it's funny that the various levels of wrestling, there's the people that know the smart marks, and there's the people that are like, you can't let him do this.
Well, okay,
he's not gonna let Jericho win.
So John's been telling me, like, because he's a part of ad free shows, so he gets all that shit, and So they've been released and they found all the Jim Ross radio show shit from like 93.
Oh yeah.
And they've been putting all that shit on there, right? John goes, all these fucking rednecks call in, like all these kids call in. He goes, literally, this one guy called in and goes, I need an update on Sting's condition after what Rick Rude did to him. I've been calling the offices of WCW and no one's getting back to me. It's kind of like the same thing on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that was 93.
Yeah.
So people thought that shit was real in 93, and then people think this shit's real in 2021. What the fuck? Are you like living under a rock? Like 93, there was no internet. Like you didn't know shit.
Yeah, right.
It's instant in your fucking hands in like 30 seconds. Like, yeah, John goes, it's just fucking hysterical to listen to this shit because he just fucking laughs. Like all these southern rednecks call in.
Yeah.
And then he said Kevin Nash was on there as that Vinny Vegas character, and he goes, it was so funny. It was so funny. So
yeah,
it's the same thing. Like that. So that Jericho match with Hoovy was the worst match probably of the year.
Yeah.
Because Hoovy would do his shit and Jericho would stand there like this for like 4 seconds and he'd finally come.
Yeah. Right.
And he made Jericho look stupid a couple times because Jericho's there and he's not, and Hoovy's not there yet. And John made that point Friday night, and I watched it again this morning and I went, oh yeah, I didn't pick up on it at first, and I saw it and I'm like, oh my god, that makes okay, now I get it. Like, because I wasn't really paying attention, but now I was like, no, I'm like, yeah, he does make him look like shit.
Yeah.
But okay, we've said this for the last 4 weeks. What a fucking letdown. Wardlow?
Yeah.
So you have a death match 2. You have Hoovy match 3. Now Wardlow's 4.
Yeah. With MJF as a special guest referee.
Yeah, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Wow, there's some great booking going on here.
Yeah.
Booking 101. What not to do.
Yeah.
And Jericho was quoted as saying that he would do another death match again if it fit the story.
What story?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like, I'm just done with like I'm all set with 50-year-olds in death matches.
I'm all set with death matches. Period.
Death matches, period.
Well, Nick Gage had a death match last night in California against a woman.
How bad was that?
Oh, it was bad as you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw one spot where he put a stack of light tubes in front of her face and kicked her. The tubes in real quick. I mean, in reality, I guess I wish I could hit my wife's ex-husband with a thing of
hold all these light tubes for a minute.
Yeah, just hold these for a second so I can just bash him in the fucking head with them. Oh, so speaking of that, so today is we're having a baby shower today. So, are you available between the hours of 2 and 6? In case I call you for bail money, because if I call my wife, she won't answer. So I figured I'd call one of my best friends. Could you possibly, if it says Penobscot County Jail across your quality, can you just answer the phone for me? I think it's only going to be around $40 to bail me out because the first time I've ever gone to jail. So
yeah.
But it's a Sunday. I don't know if I can get out till tomorrow morning.
Oh, probably not. Yeah. Do you have to work tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can pick me up and I can go right to work.
Yeah, right. How was your weekend?
That's good.
Not bad.
Not bad. I found out that light tubes really do hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I forgot about this because I'm an idiot. So like when you hit someone with a light tube, like that gas goes in the air and that's not good for people.
Right, yeah.
Because those are supposed to be disposed of, they're supposed to be disposed of in like a proper way. And I forgot about that gas that goes in the air when they break.
That used to be my responsibility when I worked at Home Depot. My last job there was I was success captain, and which was like safety, like safety hazmat, and I did like asset protection stuff, make sure everything was locked up. But yeah, the light tubes, it was like anytime there was a broken light, we had to friggin', there were certain ways you were supposed to like take care of it and stuff, because there's mercury or whatever. But I mean, really, the amount of mercury that's in it's like, very, very minimal. But yeah, it's still like not good to fucking breathe in that shit. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna call OSHA.
Okay, call OSHA.
Yeah.
Call
Yeah.
OSHA on AEW and get him shut down.
I've been calling OSHA all week trying to get them to look into AEW and them light tubes, and they ain't getting back to me.
No, they're not. Actually, they're not. Because OSHA doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. But did you see that Pabst Blue Ribbon had a commercial on Dynamite this week?
No, I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it was Zack Ryder and those guys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't heard anything about him. I don't know if he's going to be back in GCW or not. Nothing's been said. He said he's not doing another death match, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine him hanging on to that belt for very long. So yeah.
No, I mean, he was the smartest businessman though, because 3 minutes after he won the title, all his merch got released.
Yeah.
And then he wore white, and then when his shirt was completely bloody, they released a bloody shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you have to be pretty bloody to get your shirt all blood.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't even just the fucking shirt, but then like the picture from like his hotel room, like the bed.
The bed. He was still bleeding and shit. Huh?
Yeah. Like it was all. I'm like, holy fuck, dude, that's a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Like, and that sucks. I'm like, yeah, when you have to give your credit card at a hotel for incidentals. It's like, yeah, that's.
Go. Oh, don't worry, I didn't murder anybody in my room, but just because I had a death match last night and I bled everywhere.
Yeah, it's cool.
But what a smart guy, though.
Yeah.
Like, super smart guy. Like, for real. Like,
yeah.
He wins. The whole fucking place is talking. He's trending on Twitter, #1. Everyone's talking about him. Like, he's the most hated person there. Yeah. When he comes back there, he's going to be booed out of the fucking building. Like, it's smart stuff.
Yeah.
And he's making money.
Yep.
And it's smart. And it's smart. Yeah, it's dumb to do a death match. But he's making a lot of money.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's making me kind of jealous. But that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. So basically, honest to God, Dynamite sucked.
Yeah.
The Malachi Black thing was the best thing on the show. There wasn't really anything else memorable in the show at all.
Yeah, right.
It was just another show that just wasn't very good.
Yeah. But it was cool to see Cody get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then kind of retire, but then get interrupted.
Get kicked in the face again.
Yeah.
And then the Elite beat down Adam Page because he's supposedly away from the Dork Order now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why they don't give him the belt, but
yeah.
It's because he's not an executive vice president. That's why.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't want to see the Good Brothers and Evil Uno and Stu Grayson for the Impact titles.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see Bray Wyatt debut and just kill everybody and then call it good. But that won't be till like November. So.
Yeah. Yep.
And if, like I said last week, if Tony Khan has any brains, he's already called him.
Yeah. Right.
And said, "I'm bringing you in. How much do you want?"
Yeah. It's gonna be. I made the point. I was like, man, I think Vince is trying to bankrupt AEW by releasing all these people that they're gonna go after.
Well, I mean, they haven't. They're not linked to Strowman because Strowman's linked back to the WWE. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they bring Wyatt back, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And all these NXT guys, some of these guys they will probably sign, and some of them they won't. Like,
Yeah.
You can't sign everybody. So
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
you know, but what do you sign Punk to, and what do you sign Daniel Bryan to? You
Yeah.
know, like, do you give them like 5 million a piece? Do you give, like, I don't know, like, and we don't even know their budget for wrestlers. I mean, because
Yeah. Exactly. That's.
if Jericho's making more money than he's ever made in his life,
Yeah.
okay, he's making pretty good money. So he's probably making 2 to 3 million a year, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And that's guaranteed money. That's not, well, it's incentive based. No, that's guaranteed. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I just don't. I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you give a Punk and what do you give a Bryan to come in? And what do you do with them? Like, we've been talking about this for weeks. I don't even.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have Bryan come in and then feud with Punk if Punk's the champ?
They had some bangers before, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, but you don't. But you're not. But Omega's ego is so big, and so is the Bucks. So they're not going to want to do that with those two.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And I don't care what anybody fucking says. Like, it's the truth. So
Yeah.
if they're already infighting now between the EVPs about stuff, okay. So you're going to bring in Punk, who reportedly is hard to work with at times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Punk will come in and be like, all right, well, I want to do this, and this. And they go, well, I think you should take our super kick. He's going to go, yeah, fuck off, goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But maybe that's what the company needs. They need that person that's going to say, you know what? No, fuck you, actually.
Yeah.
Because he'll say,
Yeah. Oh, so you brought me in here for to sell tickets on 2 Chicago shows, and then the next show I got to take a super kick from you fucks. Yeah, fuck off. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go home and hang out with my wife.
Yeah.
Keep your fucking money. Thank you.
Yeah. I got a fridge full of belts. I don't need yours.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I'm gonna keep your belt. You gotta go make a new one. or as Jericho says, he'll lose his with his luggage.
Yeah, yeah. Got stolen outside of a Outback Steakhouse or whatever.
Was it Longhorn, right? Longhorn?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, the limo driver. Yeah.
So fucking funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yes.
do you have your list?
I do.
I have my list too.
We'll have a couple similar.
You think?
A few, I think so. A few different also.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we'll have it. Well, I mean, I don't know if we'll have them in the same order, but I mean, I think we'll.
Maybe not. There's one on here that I don't think you're gonna have.
Okay.
And I mean that. And all right, want me to go first?
Sure, if you want to.
Or you can go first. Okay. This is your show, so you go first.
Well, because here's my thing. You're way better at this than I am.
All right, you want me to go first then?
It makes sense for you to go last because you're better at explaining these things in detail.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you giving me a compliment. It's nice. Boost my morale in life just that much more.
Well, not only are you're more of a student than I am of this stuff, but Punk's also like your guy, so it's like,
Yeah, Punk's my favorite, and Punk's my 1, and Austin's my 2, and and probably Hogan, Flair are my 3 and 4. Those are my 4 favorite wrestlers of all time. So
yeah. So my first one was March 4th, 2012 at the Bangor Auditorium. It was Punk versus Ziggler with Jericho as the special enforcer. And I put that on my list specifically just because I had just gotten back, and that was my first house show in a long time. And I went specifically to see Punk. Like, he was, it was cool to see Jericho and stuff on that card too. But really, I was like, I just want to see Punk.
Yeah.
So like, so I put my favorite, that's my favorite because of that, because I finally got to see him live, and
Yeah,
he
and that was
won.
the last Bangor Auditorium show too.
Yeah,
And that place
yeah,
was packed
yep.
because we got there late and we were in line all the way to the fucking parking lot to get in.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I remember the line.
Yeah. So, all right, hang on a second.
Yeah.
Gotta take this call.
Okay.
Hello.
I meant Brooklyn to answer.
Well, she's getting a shower.
Yeah, well, she thinks you're taking her to the mall. Kristen just asked her if she wanted to go in town with her.
Okay.
She said,
Okay. Well,
and I said she's not going to the mall.
okay. All right. I love you. Bye. All right. Real life, folks. That's what happens. That's what happens when I will say this nicely before we continue. This is what happens when you have to go clean Barbie's ex-husband's house because he's a fucking moron. So we spent all day down there cleaning his house to get ready for today. I mowed the lawn, I weed whacked, I picked up dog shit, and Barbie was inside cleaning. And then when I got done with my shit, I went inside and cleaned too.
Yeah.
So if I'm a little ornery today around 2:00, it's for that fucking reason. Like and I will say this on this show because I don't give a fuck. I've never hated anybody as more as I hate that. And I will be gladly to tell him to his face today because I could give a shit.
He's like your Goldberg.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's like my Goldberg. Okay, so continue.
Right, so that was,
please.
Yeah, that was number 5. Number 4, I had Jericho versus Jericho at Extreme Rules 2012. I just, it's crazy now to go back and watch that match because, Jericho moves a lot slower now than he did, and just all the abuse that he took, and and the fire extinguisher to the face.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah, that was pretty
bad. So I love both those guys. So they had a few good matches, but I picked the Extreme Rules one. Same thing, like another like banger match. I had my number 3 is Daniel Bryan Over the Limit 2012. Same thing. Just fucking two guys, just two working son of a bitches busting their fucking ass and beating the shit out of each other. Yeah. It was so good. My surprise at number 2, Samoa Joe 2 in 2004. 1 was good too, but 2 was better. It was, hour-long matches of good shit, and so I went, it sucks that they both end in draws, but still, it's like an hour of fucking, like, kudos to anybody that can go an hour and make it look good, and they went an hour and made it look good. So that was a good match, a great match. And number 1, I had Cena Money in the Bank 2011. So that's just fucking just so awesome, and just everything from the crowd to the match to just anyone, just everything was cool. So yeah, and that was when I was, I think, first, like, I was like, yeah, it's fucking, yeah, Punk's fucking awesome. So, and then I was like, I think there was probably like that moment where I was like, okay, if he ever comes to Bangor, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And then I did. So that's my list.
It's a good list.
Yeah.
Our 3, 4, and 5 are not even close.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Our 1 and 2 are the same.
Yeah.
So my number 5 is Punk versus Austin Aries from ROH Death Before Dishonor 3 in 2005. Yeah. So this was when Aries was their champion. He beat Samoa Joe the end of 2004 at Final Battle. Okay. Punk had a huge feud with Jimmy Rave leading up to this. They had a dog collar match. They had a steel cage match. Punk was on fire. Punk basically knew he was leaving. Okay. And Gabe Sapolsky, the booker of Ring of Honor at the time, they came up with this idea called the Summer of Punk in 05. Okay. Punk won the title that night and turned heel and cut a fucking stupid fucking promo, right? And he ran out the front door into a running car and left. A month later, he signed his WWE contract on the Ring of Honor title. And then in August of that year, he dropped the title in a four-way match to Jamie Gibson, who was AKA Jamie Noble in the WWE. Yeah. The next night, he wrestled Cabana in Chicago in a 2 out of 3 falls match and cried the entire time walking in the ring. That's number 5.
Yeah.
Because that fucking angle fucking catapulted him into fucking stardom.
Yep.
Okay. But before that, we'll talk about some other things too. Okay. So number 4, I have Punk Lesnar from SummerSlam 2013.
Yeah.
That was a banger of a match.
Yeah.
Punk bumped the shit for Lesnar, and Lesnar bumped for Punk.
Yeah. Right.
And Lesnar never bumped for anybody.
Right. And
ever.
For two guys whose body types are completely different, like they both fucking worked. That was probably the hardest like Lesnar's worked.
That was the hardest Lesnar worked till he worked with Bryan like 6 years later.
Yeah.
Lesnar actually bumped for Bryan too in that that Survivor Series match. So
yeah.
Punk Lesnar was 4 because you had the whole Heyman thing, because Heyman used to be with Punk, then he was with Lesnar and all that shit, and it was just great. It was great storytelling. So that's 4. My 3 is Punk and Jericho from Payback 2013 in Chicago.
Yeah. And that was good too. I didn't want to have 2 Jericho matches. I didn't want to have 2 Bryan matches. That was
when Punk, after he fought Taker at WrestleMania 29, Punk took some time off because Punk was pissed. Then, because Punk felt that should have been the main event, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
And that was when he started getting pissy.
Yeah.
Because he hadn't had a WrestleMania main event yet, and he was pissed off that The Rock came back and took his title in January because they needed the belt for the Cena Rock program, which was fucking full, which they were full of shit about, but whatever. So they got the belt off Punk, and then he went to Taker and lost, and Taker was gone the next day, and Punk was still there, so Punk was pissed.
Yeah.
I see both sides. I get it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, and then that led to Punk leaving 6 months later and never coming back.
Yep.
All right. My number 2 is, again, Punk Joe 2 from 2004, which was like September of 04, I think, or August. I think it might have been September. Their first one that they went an hour, and which was Joe Punk 1 in the beginning of 04, was never supposed to happen.
Yeah.
That match wasn't scheduled, and somebody no-showed or couldn't show up, so they just put them together and they went an hour.
Yeah.
And Gabe liked it so much that he put him in another hour. And then in Final Battle, not Final Battle 04, it was All-Star Extravaganza 04 in New Jersey. They wrestled for 33 minutes, and Joe finally pinned him.
Yeah.
And then Joe dropped the title to Aries at the end of 04, and then that led into Aries having it, then Punk getting it for 3 months, and Punk leaving. So those matches put Ring of Honor on the map in 04. It put Joe and Punk on the map. People knew of them, but they weren't, Joe was a big fat Samoan, let's be real. And Punk was a skinny white kid from Chicago with long hair and tattoos that no one gave a fuck about.
Yeah.
And those 3 matches put those guys on the map because Joe signed with TNA and Punk signed with the WWE.
Yeah.
Without those 3 matches, they probably never would have got signed by anybody.
Yeah. And see, I wasn't watching wrestling when that originally came. So that was one I watched later on,
Yeah.
just because, once I got back into wrestling and got into Punk, then that's when like I just kept hearing about it, so I went back and watched it. But yeah, it would have been cool to have been an active fan like during that time period
Oh,
to
it's
see
great.
it all fucking go down. But,
I mean, I remember having arguments with John about this shit back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, you got to
Yeah.
watch this stuff, man. He's like, oh, Triple H is the greatest. No, he's not. But it's okay. He was on, whatever. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
And that was Dave Meltzer's first 5-star match in years too. That Punk Joe
Really?
too. Yep.
First one outside the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah. Because he fucking sucks a Young Buck's cock. So, and then of course one, Punk Cena Money in the Bank 2011. Again, they did a whole summer of Punk thing, but they fucked it all up. He legitimately was leaving. Everybody knew he was leaving. He signed his extension like an hour before the match started with Cena, and it was built up so well on TV.
Yeah.
And he again left the belt, ran out the front door into a running car, tweeted the belt in his fridge, brought him back 2 weeks later, fought Cena at SummerSlam in another good match, not as good as this one, but another good match, only to lose because Kevin Nash comes out and power bombs him and Del Rio wins. And then the Summer of Punk goes.
Yeah.
And he's right back to where he started.
Yeah.
And the next month he gets buried by Triple H. He gets buried by Triple H at Night of Champions. He loses in a Hell in a Cell, and then he wins the belt at Survivor Series, and then they finally do something with him for over a year and a half.
Yeah.
Wherever we want. Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. So let's see. On this show today, we have gotten a phone call. We have gotten interrupted. I said I wanted to hit my wife's ex-husband with light tubes. You can't get much more stupid.
Yeah.
And this is my life. Whatever. It's all good.
Yeah.
No biggie. But I mean, I could bitch about it on here because like no one watches this fucking thing anyway. So what's the goddamn difference? And even if they did watch it, I wouldn't fucking care.
Yeah. Right.
Because I give no fucks. So I do this shit to fucking pop us and to pop our friends. And other than that, I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
This is our opinion. This is our show, and whatever. So
that's
our top 5. And next week we're going to do a top 5 Daniel Bryan stuff, which I definitely know that will not be the fucking same.
Yeah, that definitely will.
Because I'll have shit from like fucking 2000 fucking 2002. You'd be like, you had a match with that guy? Yeah, it was really good. You should really watch it.
That list will be very different.
My whole list could be top 5 matches between Daniel Bryan and Nigel McGuinness, and you'd be like, really?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Because they had some banger matches too back in the day. So
yeah.
Because Nigel was a worker. Nigel could work. He just got hepatitis.
I've seen it 100 times,
Me too. Me too. I mean, that needle in my ass. I mean,
yeah.
Oh well, it's all good. All right. So, sports wise, the United States men and women won the gold medal in basketball.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
No, not really. I mean, on the women's side,
Yeah.
I did. Men's, I thought, I was like, especially how they started, I was like, oh yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. The women have won 7 straight.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that until they said it. I was like, really? And they're like, oh yeah, the men have won 4. I'm like, the men won 4? And I was like, oh yeah. So since 92, the men have won 7 of 8 since they started putting NBA players in.
Yeah.
And what year did they lose?
Uh,
04? Was it
yeah,
04?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think it was 04, wasn't it? When they were
Yeah.
like a laughing stock and everyone made fun of them. I can't remember. I don't
Yeah.
know. Let's see.
Bobby Bowden passed away this morning.
I saw that.
Yeah. So.
Messi is gone from Barcelona.
Yeah. Yeah. It has, a 2-year deal in place with the option for a third year with PSG.
What do you
So
think of that?
I was kind of a shocker, but like I didn't know if it was. I mean, La Liga and is very similar to like wrestling, where it's like, is this a storyline or is this like?
Yeah.
So I didn't know, because they made such a big deal last summer about no, Messi's going to be here for life, and then he re-signed this year, but then they said, well, because of fair play rules, we don't have that kind of money when we can't pay you anymore. So, bye.
This kind of feels like when Brady left the Patriots.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
For overseas, because like
Yeah,
he was in Barcelona
absolutely.
for 17 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Barbie's oldest daughter, Kayla, her husband was talking to me about it yesterday. They're doing a thing. They're running a Messi thing, like starting at like 11 o'clock in the morning to like 4 o'clock in the afternoon about all his goals. Like 4 o'clock in the afternoon the next day. Like they're showing all his goals.
Yeah.
And I was like, for real? He goes, yeah. He goes, I saw it. Yeah. He goes, can you imagine having that? I'm like, yeah, dude, that guy was the man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And still is. Still is.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's still good. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, he's slowed down a little bit, but his accuracy and being in, like his talent in the box is like ridiculous. So, yeah.
They
Well,
signed him when he was 18, right?
I think maybe he was younger.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, he was one of those guys that he was like the child prodigy, and so they brought him in as soon as they could get their hands on him. So, but what sucks is, so my favorite player ever is Sergio Aguero, who played for City forever, or the last 10 years. And him and Messi are like best friends. So he signed with Barcelona because he's like, oh, I get to play with Messi. And now Messi's gone. I'm like, well, shit, can we get Aguero back?
I thought your favorite soccer player was Freddie Adu.
Oh, I love Freddie Adu. I saw him on Letterman one time. He had a soccer ball on his back and he took his shirt off and the ball stayed. It was the most incredible soccer moment I'd ever seen in my life. Yeah, Freddie Adu. Yeah.
He was a prodigy too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Now he's like the most talented server at Applebee's. So, good for him. I don't know what the hell he's doing now, but
I don't know. But that name popped in my mind because
yeah, because he was like 17 and he was like the shit. This was late 90s or whenever, early 2000s, whatever it was. So it was like, oh yeah, we finally have this like young American guy who's good, and then he just never progressed. He went to, he played MLS. And I think he went to a European team and just sat on the bench like the majority of the American players do. So just never got any better. So
no, those American players. I mean, some of them are pretty good, but not.
Yeah, but yeah.
Let's see. Some NBA guys got paid.
Yeah, Kawhi stayed with the Clips.
Jimmy Butler got paid yesterday.
Jimmy Butler got paid.
Durant's getting paid again.
Yeah.
Steph Curry got paid again.
Yeah.
Steph Curry's the only one in NBA history to get 2 contracts of over $200 million.
Yeah.
I would not have given Chris Paul 4 years, $120 million.
No.
The Lakers have an all-star team from 2008 now on their roster.
I saw So, someone posted a photo and it was like one of those like who's stopping these guys like thing, and it was Lonzo Ball, LeBron, Kuzma, and I can't remember who third, but it showed him all the different teams they're on.
Oh, Brandon Ingram, wasn't it? Brandon Ingram?
Yeah, Brandon Ingram, yeah. So yeah, it was all it's LeBron with a new number, and then everybody else is on different teams. So
The only thing stopping the Lakers is going to be AARP.
dislocated hips. And,
Yeah. I mean, they have the oldest roster in the league now.
yeah.
Average age is 34.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
They have 2 guys in their 20s, and that's it. Everyone else is 30, I believe.
Yeah.
Because they signed Kendrick Nunn, and they got Malik Monk, and they maybe have another. Maybe they have 3 20-year-olds, maybe. But okay, cool. They still don't have any fucking shooting. So Carmelo's your best 3-point shooter now. Oh, yippee!
Yeah, that's tough.
Trevor Ariza, Wayne Ellington.
Yeah. Like, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know Trevor Ariza was still in the league.
Yeah.
To be honest.
What? Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
The Sixers signed Andre Drummond.
Yeah.
Back up Embiid. Ben Simmons isn't returning any of the Sixers' phone calls and wants to be traded to a team in California.
Yeah.
So he can go hang out
They're
with his
still
girlfriend.
asking for way too much, so they're still not going to trade until they, come back to reality for a minute.
Right. So I said this to you before. So I would give me 3 bags of marbles and a roll of quarters. You can have Ben Simmons off my hands.
Yeah.
Take him. I mean, at this point, just fucking get rid of him. Like, whatever. Like, you had a perfect opportunity to get Wiseman, Wiggins, somebody else in a first-round pick, and you said no.
Yep. Which would have actually been a much better fit for the 76ers, having those guys. But,
yeah, because then you wouldn't have signed Drummond.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yep.
Who else signed that I care about? Oh, Lonzo Ball's in Chicago.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry went to Miami.
Yeah.
They re-signed Duncan Robinson, who got the highest contract for anyone that wasn't drafted in NBA history.
Yeah. Kemba Walker to the Knicks.
Can you? Yeah. Julius Randle got paid.
Yeah.
They signed Evan Fournier. The Knicks did.
Yeah.
They didn't say how much. They didn't say how much Kawhi Leonard's going to make in the Clippers, but they said he's fine.
But yeah, and I guess it's like the same deal too, where he can like opt out in a couple of years or whatever.
So he can opt out after next year.
Yeah, and then re-sign for more money again. Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I hate the way the NBA contracts are structured now. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Well, it's because Adam Silver sucks LeBron James' dick. So
yeah. Man, to be a fly on the wall in that room, huh?
I know. Hold on, LeBron. Let me get that cum off my fucking lip. I mean, because Adam Silver looks like a fucking serial killer anyway. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
He's the one that has the white van with no windows driving around in the street giving kids candy.
Yeah, with small bloody handprints on the back window.
Yeah. So just like Zack Ryder's sheets after the death match with Nick Gage. So it's perfectly fine. The Red Sox are playing like shit.
Yep. Absolute garbage. I'm glad they didn't really make any good moves during.
The Phillies are now in first.
Yeah.
The Yankees are surging. Football's training camps in session.
that the number 2 pick for the Jets sucked shit. Threw 2 picks and
Yeah, 11 of 24, 2 picks. He has a lot of learning to do.
Yeah.
Cam Newton looked like shit the other day in practice.
Yeah.
And it looks like now there's a quarterback competition now.
Yeah. Well, that's what they said. Like, Mac Jones has been like he's still making like the rookie mistakes and stuff, but he's had like all the whenever it's like the best passes of the day, like it's like they're all like Mac Jones passes. So yeah. I mean, I still think I'd be shocked if Cam didn't start the season as the starting quarterback, but
right.
We'll see. Cam's
got to get him through week 4 against Tampa, and then after that, Mac Jones should take over week 5.
Well, and I want to see how you feel about this. End of last week, they said talks were heating up between the Texans and Eagles to send Deshaun Watson to Philly.
Okay.
Do you want Deshaun Watson?
So I will say this again. So now, this is the second year in a row now. You have now fucked with your starting quarterback.
Yeah.
They haven't even announced Hurts as their starting quarterback yet.
Yeah.
And you're already fucking with them saying, oh, Deshaun Watson trade talks are heating up.
Yeah.
They should not do that trade.
Yeah. Right. Well, because the guy's going to be suspended
at some point.
Yeah.
But again, that's another commissioner who sucks everybody's dick. So who really knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. Because right now the Eagles have 2 first-round picks, and they could have a third if Wentz plays 75% of the snaps, which right now looks like it's not going to happen.
Yeah. No.
So that will be a second-round pick instead of a first.
The stipulation should have been if Jacob Eason plays 75% of the snaps.
True. Or if you said if Wentz plays 1 game or 2 games, then you could get a first-round pick. So
yeah.
But that looks like right now on paper, as of August 8th, that could be a second-round pick.
Yeah.
I would not trade our future for Deshaun Watson.
Right.
No matter how good he is. I don't.
Neither would I. Yeah, neither would I.
I mean, because he's just going to come to Philly and just fucking molest more massage therapists. So I'm good. So he can just stay in Houston and do that.
Well, yeah, it's like, so it's like not even that, but so if you were to trade Hurts and picks or whatever, then he's still going to come in and then be suspended.
Yeah. And then the Eagles starting quarterback will be, do you know?
No.
Joe Flacco.
Oh, Joe Flacco.
Yay!
Iron Joe Flacco.
Nice. Joe Flacco. Oh my God, that makes me so happy. Like,
it should, yeah. That should help you sleep at night.
Joe Flacco lost his job to Lamar Jackson, who at the time couldn't even throw the ball. Yes. Yay!
Well, he did good in Denver.
Yeah. Yeah, for the 2 snaps he played and then he was done.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Yeah, it's tough.
I swear, if the Eagles draft Deshaun Watson, I will probably cry.
Yeah. Well, when I saw that, I was like, oh man, Frank must be bullshit.
It's just they're just not sad. Like, you gotta try. You traded you traded all those picks for Wentz, okay, and then you got rid of him for basically a bag of marbles and a roll of nickels, just to get rid of him.
Yeah,
they fucked with Wentz last year when they drafted Hurts in the second round, and then they fucked with Wentz all year, and Wentz had a horrible year. Yeah, and then they made the switch, and then they got rid of him.
Yeah. Well, and then there was talk this week that, the Colts might try to bring Foles into.
I heard that
because he's third string quarterback right now for Chicago. Yeah. So, you know, and they have, you know, Jacob Eason and Erlinger maybe.
Yeah.
So,
And
rookie.
Brett Huntley's there too now.
Brett Huntley, yeah. So yeah, there was, you know, and I guess Foles was like he'd be open to it, and Frank Reich said, you know, there's a few quarterbacks I like whose game I like better than Nick Foles, you know, so there's like a little bit of love in between. So, but if you're Carson Wentz, it's like, motherfucker, this guy, like everywhere I go, fuck. But
And
yeah.
Carson Wentz is only 28 years old too.
I know.
Well, I just traded him in my keeper league, so
yeah, what'd you trade him for?
Jeff Goff.
Jared Goff?
Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Jared Goff and a pick.
Yeah, that's not bad. I'd take that.
I don't care at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, because my quarterbacks in my keeper league were they're now Jared Goff, Jordan Love, who I thought was actually going to play this year, but that changed.
Yeah, maybe not.
And Taysom Hill.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with that too.
So I'll probably draft a quarterback in my keeper league this year.
Yeah.
So
how many keepers are you allowed?
18.
18 keepers?
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, you have to have 2 head coaches, 2 kickers, 2 special teams. You have to play a head coach, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, a tight end, a kicker, and a special teams.
Yeah.
And it's all touchdown based.
Yeah.
So like if your quarterback throws 2 touchdown passes, you get 12 points.
Yeah.
If you start a quarterback with a wide receiver, like one of his wide receivers, and he catches a touchdown, that gives you more points.
Yeah.
You get point, like if your kicker has like 3 extra points and 2 field goals, you get all those points.
Yeah.
If your special team scores, you get points for that. Oh yeah. If your head coach wins, you get 4 points.
Yeah.
If they don't win, you get no. You know what I mean? So that's all. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a very interesting league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where do you do that?
I've been doing it since 2005. We do it on some. I've been runner up 3 times.
Yeah.
I've never won.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always a bridesmaid, never a groom.
Yeah, that's all right.
So
yeah.
Fantasy season will be kicking off soon.
Yeah, I got my draft in a couple more weeks.
Me too.
So
I have another keeper league one that I'm doing in a couple weeks, and
yeah, I'll do 1,000 ESPN ones in a couple of weeks. So
I will do. So I have 3 Yahoo leagues, and I have my other one. So I got 4, and that'll be enough.
Yeah.
So, it is the season.
Yep.
And then in like another month, it'll be cold, and fall will be here. And then winter,
and Christmas.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Summer's almost over.
Yeah. That's okay. We had a good run.
Yeah. Kind of a rainy July.
Yeah.
August hasn't been too bad.
No.
But it's only 8 days.
Yeah.
So again, if you're free between the hours of 2 and 6.
Yeah.
There's going to be like 60 people at this thing today.
God damn.
It's a Jack and Jill baby shower.
Yeah. What does
So
that mean?
I have to go.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I get you now.
I hope we all get COVID.
Jesus Christ, don't say that. Don't say that.
All right. So we'll end on this. So Friday night, Limitless had a show in Herman. It was actually a pretty decent crowd. The place was set up pretty nice. I left the intermission because I didn't feel good, so I left.
Yeah.
But before intermission, they had Anthony Green and Matt Cross. Oh, it was pretty good. People were chanting, "This is awesome," and I guess if that's, I mean, it wasn't. I thought it was a banger of a match, but I mean, it wasn't like, it was good. It was good for Limitless. Okay, it was good for Herman. Two big stars were back, and it was cool. Made a tweet out Saturday morning, and Anthony Green responded and liked my thing and liked my tweet. So did Matt Cross. So I mean, it was good. I mean, I had a good time with my dad and John. It was fun. I also made a tweet out on Thursday because Something to Wrestle celebrated 5 years. It was a 5-year anniversary. So I put a tweet out, and I tweeted out our picture from the show we went to. And I said how much I liked the show and blah, blah, blah. Well, they retweeted my post.
No shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then Limitless retweeted my tweet yesterday too, as well, what I said about Matt Cross and Anthony Green.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people retweeted my shit. So it was kind of cool. Like, I couldn't believe that, a bunch of people like my Something to Wrestle post too. Like, I just did it just because, I just thought it was cool and got retweeted, and I'm like, oh, cool, I'm famous.
Yeah.
My favorite episode of that podcast is the Houston Wrestling episode.
Yeah.
My hands down my favorite. And the Jim Cornette episode is my second favorite.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, go listen to Cornette's podcast. That posted last night. He's doing a remembering of Bobby Eaton.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
It's really sad. It's really sad in the beginning because he's trying to keep it together. He said they recorded it a couple different times and he didn't know if he could get through it. I have 28 minutes left to go, and it's just story after story, and it's just so funny.
Yeah.
Bob Eaton would get sick at the drop of a hat. Like, he did, like, if you picked a booger and put it in front of him, he'd throw up. He puked at everything. Like, he just so, like, how, like, you burp and then blow it at somebody, right?
Yeah.
Well, Arn Anderson's driving the car and Bob Eaton's on the other side, on the passenger side. Okay. And they're doing 70 in Missouri on, like, a highway. It's like fucking pouring rain. Okay. Bob Eaton burps and blows it and fucking throws up on Arn as he's driving, which causes Arn to throw up. So, like, he pulls the car over, and Arn gets out and strips off his shirt and starts throwing up and takes his shirt off and throwing up on the side of a highway in Missouri. Bob Eaton's puking on the other side, and they forgot that the referee's in the backseat of the car just fucking laughing his fucking ass off. Cornette tells it. It's so funny. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of other stories like that too, where they tell, like, it's Cornette and Bob Eaton and Big Bubba and Stan Lane in the car. Cornette's driving, and Cornette has a cold, and he starts hacking. And Bob Eaton's like, "Jim, you're gonna make me sick, Jim." And then Bubba's laughing, and he starts, and so they pull over to the car. Stan Lane's laughing, and they're all the doors open up on each side. They're all puking out the fucking car. And Bill Dundee's behind them going, "What the fuck is going on?" Yeah, apparently Bobby had a really light stomach. So.
Yeah, that's funny.
But he would travel with this huge bag of stuff. He had everything with him, like a sewing kit, like extra towels, washcloths, like gum. Like, he had everything with him. Yeah, because he.
Well, did you see Jericho's post?
Yeah,
like what he. He kept like an extra pair of socks. Actually, So it was great, but he ended it with like, I'll till we meet again in heaven, and save me a pair of black socks or something like that. So
again, like I said at the beginning of the show, Bob Eaton was the nicest man in wrestling, and probably should never have gotten the wrestling business. Yeah, and he was a hell of a worker. Yeah, and people forget that. Like, people overlook him because he was such a good worker. Yeah. Like, Cornette said Goldberg wanted to fucking lose the streak to Bob Eaton in fucking Alabama because he was that well respected.
Yep. Yep.
I didn't know he was still with WCW until 2000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was like, really? 2000? I'm like, oh, that sounds about right. I guess that sounds about right, but he didn't do anything with him.
No, right.
Well, I mean, he was Sir Robert Eaton in that kind
Sir
of.
Robert. Yeah. Yeah, that sucked.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
this was fun.
Yeah.
This is really fun.
Yeah. We should do it again next week.
I think we will.
Yeah.
Top 5 Daniel Bryan matches, and my top 5 will be different than yours.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. This has been the weekly wrap with Vachon and Rapp, and we are out. Peace. As I flip people off.